Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today out on another auction adventure, heading to Hastings, Michigan.
In 1.5 miles, turn left onto West State Road.
But a little detour on the way. I'm assuming there was an accident on my way to the auction today, because it's blocked off really right in front of where, not in front of, but a mile or two in front of where the auction is. And so I'm like, if you guys don't see there, well, kinda. I'm on this dirt road. I have no clue where I'm going. I'm just trying to get around the outside of the auction to go back around the other side. It is a hassle and a half. I am literally, you guys can see, literally I was just out in the boondocks going 25 on these snowy, dirty roads. It is 20 degrees out and snowy, and we're trying to find our way to this auction that's normally really easy to get to right on the main drag. But the fact that they got closed off a chunk of it, I'm getting stuck having to take this crazy back way that I have no clue where I'm at. So we're hoping to get this auction. It starts in about 22 minutes. So we're really hoping to get there before it starts. But if not, we're going to be recording as we go. Yeah, this is not ideal. Not an ideal start to the day. Yeah, I said, these, we're like going 10 miles an hour down these roads. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a hassle. And I guarantee I'll be recording as the auction starts, just because, sorry I'm getting so close, but okay. Recording as the auction starts because I know I'm not going to get there. My GPS says I'm not there for it's literally, if I was to stay on the road I was on, it was like 2 minutes away. But now I'm like 12 minutes out because I have to go all the way around this this mess. So yeah, all right, we're gonna get there. It's supposed to be a really good auction. I mean, this is supposed to be 4 different estates from all over the Midwest. I think this is going to be a stellar auction, but I'm just hoping to get there is all I'm going to do. So if I'm running around a little weird when I get there, it's because the auction's starting and I'm only record so much. I can record just about everything, but only so much without recording. I'm sure they'll be pulling stuff up to bring up for sale. So yeah, like I said, gotta love this, because this is not ideal for the day. So, all right, guys, we'll let you go, and then we will record once we get there. We'll probably have to voice over it because they're going to be starting. So,
in half a mile, turn left onto West State Road.
All right, guys, sorry about that little GPS voiceover on top of the video there, but yes, we did get there about 5 minutes before it started, so we didn't get a chance to record without the voiceover, so we got to do the voiceover today. I hope you guys have your high limit credit cards ready, because the prices were outrageous today. Holy cow, were they outrageous. So let's run through here and I can show you guys a little bit of what it sold for, maybe talk a little bit about what we sell stuff for too. These quilts right here, they were selling for about $75 to $100. It's so weird because I'm at auctions sometimes and I can get quilts for $5-10. Today, $75 to $100 for these quilts. You're going to find out this whole auction, it was just absolutely crazy. Now, again, they did split off into 2 rings, so I wasn't able to get everything, but I did get a lot of stuff because I was running back and forth quite a bit. So this vintage Christmas lot here, pretty much from that candle all the way over to the ornaments, went for $170. $170. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, I think everybody in attendance, even if they watch this, will understand that the prices were ungodly. And Nick, I was talking about, on the title, and then I'll talk about in the outro a little bit. I think everybody had cabin fever very badly. There was about 200 people at this auction. It was tons of people. And everybody was spending, lots of collectors. I mean, it was nuts, the prices that were going for some of these things. I honestly didn't get a bid in for about 2 hours into this auction because everything was going so high. It was crazy, but I think that's what the issue was. I think a lot of people have been inside. They haven't, been spending money because there hasn't been many auctions in our area. So I think a lot of it was they were out there ready to spend, and they had the extra money to go out and, spend that couple extra dollars as we go here. So yeah. So let's go look through here and see what else we got. There's a lot of random stuff coming up here. They had some really cool rolling pins at the end of this table that I wasn't able to be by when they sold. Those right there I thought were really cool. You come across ones like that are nice. And again, it's going to be tough getting around people because there was a ton of people here. So I did have to zigzag out of people sometimes because the lanes were full. I think I get a couple of views of how many people were there. I panned to the crowd every now and then as well, which was like I said, a huge crowd. A lot of these salt crocs, those salt glazed crocs, they were going for $25 to $50 depending on the croc. But yeah, it was a mess getting there. We did end up getting there. Like I said, we did beat the clock, but man, it was, you don't get that. Hopefully whoever got in that accident was okay, because man, that was nuts. Those hat pins there sold for over 100. Yeah, I mean, these butter churns coming up here on the edge, they were selling for, I think, $75 for the one and $125 for the other. Pretty much right on or more. Everything was going for way more. Some was going for way more than retail. I just couldn't believe the prices. Even Crocs. Most Crocs today, and you'll see a lot more Crocs as we go through, just absolutely stupid prices on those, really high. The instrument you've seen back there, always look for instruments. All of those old band instruments, I'm telling you. Some of those you can get for $20-$30, can sell for $500-$700. I mean, I bought a violin once for like $60 that I resold for $900. I mean, so really always look out for those instruments. Do your research on those, and pick them up if they're cheap. All right. Yep, this stuff right here was on the other side going when I was on the other side, but I can at least give you some heads up here. Got a bunch of postcards coming up. Postcards, there's about 3 guys there that I know that collect postcards, and so I knew the prices were not going to go cheap for these postcards. I couldn't get around these guys, so I think I just get the view of all the postcards, I think. Yeah, I do. There we go. Yeah, I knew those were going to go high. I don't even know what they ended up going for, because there was, like I said, there's 3 guys I know of that collect them, and I just know you're not going to get them for the price I would need to get them at to resell them. But there was some gorgeous furniture, and this was weird because furniture was going really high as well. I mean, you're looking at $200 to $500 for these cabinets with the curved out fronts there. I mean, it was nuts. And another thing I will tell you guys about today, if you guys have Roseville was going really high today, which was really weird because Roseville never goes high. Roseville's usually like a $20 to $50 item now, and there was pieces going for $100 to $150. So maybe when you guys see a couple of these pieces coming up here, at some point when the walkthrough, let me know what you guys think of them, because there was some really high prices on this Roseville today. That fan right there sold for, I think, $160. Because it had the brass fan blades, which I know are rare, but man, what a high price for a fan. And like I said, there was a lot of Crocs there, and the Crocs were going for really good prices, anywhere from $45 up to $100+. I mean, Crocs usually don't go so high. Like I said, it was a really weird auction because but I think a lot of people there, and a lot of people had money to spend, because the prices were just not common for all the auctions and estate sales and everything I've gone to. Prices were just so much higher. I mean, it was really unreal. I really can't. I don't even have words to describe how surprising it was. That wheel, I think, went for $50. Come on, Mike, get moving. Yeah, like I said, if I'm not moving, it's because there was a crowd of people in front of me that would not allow me to move much forward. So, there we go. Get around somebody there. But yeah, like I said, this was a high quality auction. Good quality stuff. Nothing highly unique though. It was just a lot of good stuff, but just nothing, like I said, that was like, man, we really gotta hop on board and get all this stuff, because there really wasn't. The Indian there guy went for $175. Yep, the cabinet I think went for $75. The barber stand there went for $400 or $500, I believe. And those are always big things too. If you can get those barber poles, those are just huge money. I mean, there's no doubt you're going to get a good money, a couple $100 at least for those. But yeah, it was one of those auctions where I was just like, man, I'm still shocked about how high the prices were on some of that stuff. But yeah, we'll get to more of the price here. The stuff, the next few tables here, I was pretty much at a lot of the time, because I thought that's the stuff that was going to go cheaper, and boy, was I wrong. I mean, but like I said, there was a lot of people there, so I'm going to keep harping on that as well. So I'm sure that's a lot to do with it, and I think that cabin fever was something that was really prevalent today. But yeah, coming up here, you're going to see a whole bunch of Fenton. These cast iron animals here, I mean, they were going for, $75 to a couple $100 for some of those pieces. I mean, those are really cool. It's just you can't pay that much. Those paperweights, guys, paperweights, $80 to $125 for some of those paperweights. You can't even touch it. That's something I can't even do anything with that. That's so much more than what I sell paperweights for. But here's a lot of that Roseville. I mean, it was another thing. That was another thing going. Some of the smaller pieces, $25 to $45, but the bigger piece, $100, $125, $150. I haven't seen prices on Roseville like that in so long. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen prices on Roseville that high. There's a Waterbury clock there, I think sold for $170. These Harbor Lighthouse things right here, they're pretty dime a dozen, but they sold for around $15 a piece. There's Waterford Crystal there. Some of those sold for $40 to $75. I thought there were some really cool pieces, but even at really cool pieces, there's just not much money to work with on those. The chandeliers were anywhere from $25 to $50 to $75. Matchbox, there's a couple really old Hot Wheels. These are all mid-50s or mid-80s Matchbox and Hot Wheels. They were another thing. They were just $50 for 2 boxes, and it was just a lot of money for $2 cars. I mean, it's just not. Yes, there could have been some in there. Okay, let me get into these Fenton animals here. These guys were just, oh man, you're looking at. There was a couple of those that went for over $100, $105, $110. You just can't do nothing with those. I mean, there were most of them selling for $50 to $75, and like I said, you just can't do anything when their prices are that high on this. A lot of those Fenton pieces, same way. They were going into the $40 to $50 range, and man, the prices were just so high. I can't even. That sewing cabinet went for $25. Yeah, it was nuts. I wasn't here for this part of the table. I actually ran to the other side because the prices were irritating me. Which it doesn't bother me because if people are paying for it, they're paying for it. That's just what their going price was today. But I just, when you spend 4 or 5 hours at an auction, it's just like you hope to get something, and you're hoping to, trying to snag a deal somewhere or another. But it doesn't always work out that way, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm not one to harp on it. I just enjoy being able to go to the auctions and see everything and maybe get a thing or two. But yeah, there was a lot of nice furniture there. And again, furniture was actually going for the normal high furniture prices they should go for, which is something you don't see very often anymore. I mean, there's a lot of people there. Like I said, there were so many people there. I haven't seen an auction at this place that packed in, it's been years. Usually it's maybe 50 to 75 people. Today, I bet you there was 200. They were pulling extra chairs out from the back. I mean, it was something pretty unheard of. So hopefully, maybe you guys are seeing something as I walk through here that you guys, if you want to know a price on something that I missed out on, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comments, and I can do my best to remember what the stuff sold for, because there was, like I said, as you guys are seeing, there's good quality stuff here. It's not that it's not good quality, but the prices, I just can't justify higher than retail on some of this stuff, as well as, I know not everybody's a reseller. So, I do understand that too when we go to these auctions, that there are collectors there. And if they're going to pay the huge prices for some of the stuff, then that's totally okay, because that's just part of the game. But yeah, as a reseller, we just can't do that. So sometimes you're kind of stuck in a corner where it's like, hey, I can pay $50. That's the most I can pay. And then when it goes for 75 to 100, you're just like, well, nothing I can do about that. But yeah, we got a little bit more of a couple rows here. Like I said, I've missed going to auctions because there hasn't been any. This has been the first auction since probably like mid-November or late November. So, I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot of people out here, because that's going to be, it's one of those things where there's this many people out there that, haven't been to an auction in a long time. So it's going to be crazy. But yeah, there's a really nice, I think it's a post office or old Fort stamp store. I thought that was really cool. Again, I wasn't there for when it went up though, so I didn't see what it went for, but I thought that was a really cool piece. But yeah, I was trying not to rush through either, because I know the auction was already starting right now. It's actually going on as I'm going through here, but they're pulling stuff in the back, so I'm kind of just trying to grab as much as I can before they start pulling it out and putting it up for sale. So, and again, stop because there's somebody in front of me that has a big pile of people in front of us. So, yeah, like I said, you know, it was a fun one. Just, you know, not really. The De La Velle sign sold for $150. The Malt 2 sign, I think that was a $350 picture right there. That mail pouch thermometer sold for $250. Yeah, it was nuts. Like I said, a lot of high prices. The lures there, they didn't go for very much. I think they was going for like $30 or $40 for the whole lot there. Again, you know, I've went down the lure road before and haven't had much luck, so I didn't delve onto that too much. The spice racks right there, those were going for like $100 to $200. That Pyrex set went for $170. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, the Indian root pills, I think that was a $200 or $300 sign that sold. Yeah, I can't justify. I can't pay that much, which, you know, that's going to happen at certain auctions, but it surely does make it frustrating when you're sitting there for 3-4 hours. But yeah, like I said, we'll keep going through here. There's not much left to show on these ones. The really cool Indian heads, I love those. Anytime I can pick those up for a decent price, I do. But there wasn't a decent price to be found today. But yeah, more Roseville. There's more Roseville in that cart there, and that was another thing that just shocked how high the Roseville went. It never goes that high, and so right when that started going right off the bat, I knew we were in for a long haul. I had a few vendors there that were in our shop there too, and man, they were same way, just like, oh my gosh, the prices. I'm like, I know, I couldn't believe it. But at least I got to sit and chit chat with them for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys are seeing something in here that you know, makes it worthwhile for you and maybe brings back some nostalgia. The featherweight singer there, I think, sold for $150. The needlework thing went for $110. Yeah, and I think we run to the back here in a second. So I could probably just keep you on. Jewelry, not my thing. But the Nazi memorabilia there, I think that sold for $425. I think they sold the whole lot, which was, you know, huge price on the Nazi stuff. So yeah, we're going to run to the back here real quick. I'll just keep this on. A lot of pictures back here. You're going to see a lot of chairs. Chairs are tough. And sometimes the way he sells chairs, he'll like take a set of chairs like that and then piece it out. So he gets more money for it, but man, it's like it makes it so it's awkward to buy, you know, 5 chairs when you have to pay per chair. So yeah, that was not ideal. But yeah, like I said, these pictures right here I really liked, but they just didn't get to them before I had to go. I was there for 4.5 hours, I think, something like that. I just didn't get a chance to stay there long enough for him to get to the pictures. But those bird pictures I really liked. I like the feathered pictures, I guess would be the way to put them. I thought those were really, really neat, but just they didn't pop up before, you know, when you're at an auction for 4 hours, you're pretty much spent by then because but those right there, I thought those were really cool. Bunch of different kinds of them. I just don't know much about them either, though. So that's one of those things that's, you know, I would have been just shot in the dark paying for them. So yeah, like I said, guys, it was a fun auction, though. Like I said, most of the time it was spent with most of the vendors at our store and just enjoying company and chit-chatting and, you know, trying to get some deals because it was a tough one today. There was not a deal to be had. There was not a lot of stuff going for less than what it's worth. If, you know, a lot of stuff was going for way more than what it's worth. So yeah, it's just, you know, one of those things, one of those auctions, which is no big deal. But like I said, there was some really cool stuff, though. These pictures coming up here, I'm a sucker for pictures, even though we don't sell pictures all the time. I always feel like I'm a sucker for pictures. I see some really unique ones that it's like, hey, you know, we better pick that up. Then Amber says, oh, you know, where are we going to put these? And I'm like, hey, I buy them. She figures out a spot for them. But yeah, we're kind of running the end here. I think it's just got one more table up here with a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that really wasn't worthwhile. But, you know, I wanted to make sure I showed you guys everything. So. All right, guys, auction is in the books.
Guys, I think that's about it. So let's get on to the old outro.
I tried my darndest to buy something today. I was here for over 4 hours now, and oh my gosh, it was nuts. There was probably 200 people there. It was the largest amount of people I've seen at one of his auctions. That wasn't a specialty auction because it really wasn't a specialty auction. It wasn't like a lot of great or there was good stuff. I don't want to say that. There's a lot of good stuff, but there wasn't like nothing super unique or super, you know, like one piece of collection, I guess. I don't know. But man, I tried to stay for so long. I bid on as much as I could. Oh my gosh, as I was showing you guys in the walkthrough, the prices were just through the roof. Oh my gosh, there was no deals to be had there. And I know people were buying stuff that were reselling, but man, that's just a lot of money to put into something, one item, to try to make, you know, a little bit of money off it. I just can't do it. So yeah, there's 4 hours down with no fruit of it all. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video and enjoy walking through and seeing everything, because there was a lot of cool stuff there. It wasn't like there wasn't. And again, I didn't stay. I literally was there for 4 hours. It's going on just about 2 o'clock. And I have to go home because I have the kids come home from school. Usually I'm not at auctions this long, but I tried to stay and try to get something. I know that, man. I tried my darndest, but man, some of the prices, oh my gosh. Paperweights for $100? Fenton figurines for over $100? I mean, oh my gosh. I think, like I told you before, like the title of this video says, cabin fever. I think a lot of people had cabin fever and they had no clue, you know, they didn't care what they were spending for stuff. They just wanted to spend them and buy stuff. So yeah, it was one of those days. So at worst, you guys got to see a lot of cool stuff. I do apologize for not buying anything. I did try vintage Christmas, over $170 for a lot of ornaments. What? I mean, oh my gosh, where are these people selling them? Unless they're collecting them. A lot of collectors, that's fine. Hey, get them, you know, pay as much as you want to put it in your collection. I have no problem with that at all. But yeah, so we struck out today. So nonetheless, auction was great. It was fun to go to. Got to see a lot of my auction family, as I call them, because there's a lot of people I don't see other than at auctions. So that was a lot of fun. Got to sit and chat and talk and whatnot. Just didn't get to buy anything, which was kind of crappy, but that happens. So on to the next auction, right? So all right guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that great stuff, much appreciated. If you guys get some time and you want to come on visit the shop, we have so much more, you know, at the store, a better price than that stuff, I guess. But come on, see us and get your antique fix on M66. See you guys later.